joined here today by the one and only Daniel Silverman, the Vice President of Foreign Direct Investment for Investissement Quebec. We're very, very honored to speak to him today. And Daniel, once again, I just want to say congratulations on your recent success of being, one of the most renowned economic development directors under the age of 40. So very, very well done for that. I want to start today's interview by saying, Daniel, with a population of 8 million and above, what makes Quebec, a major player in Canada?
First of all, thank you, Courtney, for having me and having IQ Investissement Quebec at the table. And yeah, great question, and I think something that we really need to promote, and more people need to hear globally that are wishing to expand to the North American market. But Quebec is comprised of 17 economic regions. We have 6 major metropolitan regions in the province of Quebec on the eastern seaboard of the Americas, and is really a commercial gateway to North America and Europe.
Right.
We have direct access to about 1.5 billion consumers, 20 strategic ports, 4 international airports, and kind of the international rail network that gets you throughout Canada, throughout the United States, and into Mexico. So we have access to that entire market, which is one of the largest markets in the world. We're leaders in several cutting-edge industry sectors: VFX and animation, gaming, energy, life sciences, and continuing to grow key sectors such as the electric battery sector, as well as the hydrogen sector. So when you look at all these things combined with the 18 universities and about 140 colleges, we have roughly 87,000 international students, and that's something really to coin in on, because Canada has a very open immigration policy, and so does Quebec. So this helps us in developing our ecosystems, being the largest, I'd say, highest ranked province in Canada for R&D spending, over 140 research chairs and research laboratories. So these are all things that I find creates, kind of a soft landing spot for companies looking at the North American market. And then, being in Canada, we have free trade agreements with countries from around the globe, including those of the USMCA. But we're a low-cost location. We have one of the I'd say lowest cost energy costs, from a 99% renewable resource in our hydroelectricity, and this is something that is extremely competitive in market, and it's extremely desirable as we look at carbon emissions happening across the globe. And the Quebec government has created really an ecosystem of support. Not only is Investissement Quebec an economic development agency, but we're the financing corporation for the province of Quebec, and this allows us to create tailor-made programs to support businesses locally and to support foreign businesses that are coming in here. So it's been great to be part of this. It's been great to be part of an organization that and a government that has mandated that we double foreign direct investment in the province of Quebec over a 5-year term, which we plan on doing quite shorter than that, but also in supporting Quebec exports and talent attraction. So all of this really makes Quebec a great location to invest, a great location to grow, and you have a support system just from the Invest Quebec International team of roughly 200 experts throughout 35 offices in 18 different countries around the world. So we're here to support businesses that want to come in and find out more about Quebec, but find out more about how they can grow in the Americas.
Fantastic. Wow. We briefly spoke about industries, Daniel, and I think industry is very important. And I'm going to ask you, because I know you're going to say all industries, but I want to ask you, what are the main 4 industry sectors over there in Quebec? And secondly, what industry sectors do you see rapidly growing? I know you mentioned gaming. What other industry sectors do you see rapidly growing this year and moving forward into future years?
It's such a tough question, because I want to say all sectors because of how diverse we are and what a large landmass we are in North America. But when you look at the history of Quebec, aerospace has been huge. We have a lot of aerospace manufacturers here in the province. Gaming is another one that has been very big. Life sciences and health technologies is something that's been very focused around the province, not just in one specific city center. But I would say, energy, anything energy related would kind of be the fourth sector. And that kind of kicks off into the Quebec battery strategy that we've had for about the last 18 months, which is really a mandate by the government of Quebec and Minister of Economy Pierre Fitzgibbon and Minister of Environment and Natural Resources Minister Jonathan Julien. And this is about leveraging the natural resources that we have. This is about creating and augmenting our ecosystem. So what we're trying to build here is a mine to the cell battery strategy, and then skip the automotive manufacturing and come back to the recycling of the critical minerals. So this is a sector that's growing rapidly. This is a sector that we're putting a lot of emphasis on. We're putting a lot of effort behind and resources behind, both in terms of people, both in and financing. But what this really does is it helps also elevate our electric bus manufacturing industry, our electric recreational manufacturing industry, and the eVTOL industry, which is really the electrification of the aerospace industry. And then, like I said, the other ones, we are soon to announce a life sciences and health technology strategy. So that's going to be a key focus of growth for us in the coming years, as well as a hydrogen strategy. So, the low cost and renewable energy is something that really helps promote the assets that we have in terms of hydrogen. And I would say that, we already have quite a diverse pipeline of projects in that sector. And the sectors that we're going to continue to maintain because we're world-class, artificial intelligence, that Quebec is well known for. We have Canada's supercluster in artificial intelligence. Gaming. Gaming has not just been centralized in Montreal. You're looking at Saguenay, Sherbrooke, and Quebec City as gaming hubs. So 4 regions that are growing gaming and growing talent. And, the semiconductor. I mean, we have a global shortage of microchips, and we have IBM in our backyard, and we have the University of Sherbrooke and other universities. So these are all key areas of focus for us now and in the future. And I think these are where we're going to continue to grow and add value to a global economy.
Fantastic. You spoke about key areas of focus, and what I want to ask and what I want to find out, I'm very intrigued to find out, being located in Canada, where do you see most of your investment coming from a country's perspective, and what countries would you like to see more investment coming from?
Sure. Given the economy we are and the province that we are, and France has been a great source of investment for the Quebec economy. Roughly about 25% of our results almost every year come from the country of France. Primarily because we're a very bilingual economy, a very heavy French-speaking economy, and it makes it easy for French-based businesses to expand here. So 25% of investment and reinvestment. I'll give Ubisoft as an example. Ubisoft has more people in Quebec than they do in France. They have major studios throughout the province. They just announced one in Sherbrooke, which is not a market that you would traditionally think of for gaming, but they see opportunities throughout the country. The other one, obviously, being the United States. We have 4 representatives based in the United States. We have 2 others that work the market from up here. The U.S. is key for us on specific sectors. It's always going to be probably our largest source. But what we've recently made an investment by IQ is on our Asia team. And I think there's an opportunity there. We've hired some great resources in Korea, in Singapore, for mainland China, as well as in Japan. And I think that Korea, Japan, Singapore, Australia are really going to provide benefits for us in the long term. And we continue to push forward in markets like London, and we continue to push forward in Germany and others. But what I'm trying to do, and what the team is trying to do, is to think outside the box a little bit. Let's the Wayne Gretzky hockey explanation is go to where the puck is going to be, and that's what we're trying to figure out. Let's go to where investment's going to come from, not just to where everybody is clustered. So trying to look at opportunities around the globe, the Israeli market, the Latin American market, that will provide investment, but investment in potentially non-traditional sectors for Quebec to help us diversify.
Fantastic. So I look forward to hearing about some of these other locations and countries that are moving, and we'll do everything we can to support your efforts. But I want to move into subsidiaries, and I want to find out how have Quebec's international subsidiaries played a vital part in your economy, and how do you guys support their growth? How do you support the growth of those subsidiaries?
It's been a huge part of our success. We have over 2,300 foreign subsidiaries in the province of Quebec. Every year, they represent roughly 70% of investment and reinvestment in the province. It's a lot easier to keep a foreign subsidiary than it is to attract it and create a new one. So, we have programs internally within our team to support foreign investment. When you come in, it's not a little bit of, keep using Canadian hockey and Quebec hockey analogies here. So it's not a pass the puck. It's to make sure that foreign subsidiary remains part of the team, that the team is consistently working with them. So we work and we provide financial programs to help them to continue to innovate. We help them identify opportunities to go back to their headquarters and sell essentially new mandates for the Quebec location. Bridgestone is a great example. They've reinvested every 3-4 years in the province of Quebec with the support of the Quebec government to go and really pitch to their headquarters new innovative mandates for the location here in the province. So, it's something that we want to be able to provide to them, an opportunity to innovate, to grow locally, to remain competitive, and to attract these mandates from their headquarters. So the team is comprised of our team in foreign direct investment. It's comprised of my colleague Marie-Ève Jean's team in helping them export their products globally. And it's comprised of my other colleague, Jocelyn Beauché's team, who's responsible for the regional network of Quebec representatives. So the company is being touched all the time by members of Investissement Quebec and different divisions to ensure they have all the support that they need locally, internationally, and keeps them competitive. And then we work with partners such as Montreal International, Quebec International, and the Ministry of Immigration to make sure their talent needs are met. You need talent?
Of course.
We'll help you go attract talent locally and internationally and help manage the visa process for that international talent attraction. So you look at the Googles, the Sobeys, the Air Liquides of the world, L'Oreal, Ubisoft, 2,300 names, significant amount of those reinvest on a somewhat regular basis in the province of Quebec.
Fantastic. Daniel, you mentioned that the government has the mandate to double foreign direct investment in Quebec. So can you please elaborate a little bit more on this mandate and what it means to the Quebec economy? What does it mean to your economy to have the mandate doubled?
Yeah, so in late 2019, early 2020, the new Investissement Quebec was announced under a new CEO, Guy Leblanc, as well as the new president of Invest Quebec International, which is Hubert Beauduc, who comes from being the president for 5 years of Montreal International. And the mandate was really to help stimulate the economy. So double foreign direct investment and increase Quebec exports by 50%. So Investissement Quebec International was created. We were created on the basis of reaching $6 billion in foreign direct investment over 5 years. Our plan is to reach that goal in 3 years, which is 2020. And we're well on the way to doing that. And what we've seen throughout that process is that it's not just about landing investment, but it's about diversifying the types of investments that are coming into the province of Quebec, making sure that the administrative regions are being served by the province of Quebec and the partners. So in 2020, we did about just shy of 150 projects.
Wow.
For almost $4.3 billion, creating just over 11,000 jobs and maintaining about 1,100 jobs. Sorry, retaining 1,100 jobs, which we're potentially looking at going elsewhere.
Creating 11,000 new jobs and retaining how many jobs?
About 1,100.
Wow.
So, and those are direct. So that doesn't include the indirect factor. Those are direct related to the project. So a great year. Those are projects that we worked on with our partners, Montreal International and Quebec International. There could be other projects that come in. We try and make sure that we have a hand in everything, but those are projects that IQ MI and QI worked on. And our results are trickling in for 2021, but I can say that we are very much headed in the right direction to significantly overachieve that number and lead us to the $6 billion figure in 2022.
I mean, Daniel, I've been speaking to a number of professionals in this industry, and those numbers are astounding. They're phenomenal. I mean, never have I heard, and I'll say it, of a 4.3 billion within those times and 150 new projects to announce. I mean, I've spoken to many communities and much is treadling around the $200-300 million range per annum. So those type of numbers and type of achievements are absolutely phenomenal. So well done to you guys over there. And it leads me to another topic. I want to talk about financing a little bit. Your financing corporation. How does your financing corporation allow companies or help companies to get their projects off the ground, and what array of financing solutions are provided for these guys?
So this is a significant advantage we have here at Investissement Québec, and part of the reason we can reach a $4, $5, $6 billion capex, because it's about helping foreign subsidiaries reinvest and new ones come. But I can't really think of any other economic development agency that essentially is a bank at the same time. I maybe believe EDB Singapore has something along those lines, but this is an opportunity, and IQ has created, and the Ministry of Economy and Innovation has created an opportunity for both local and foreign businesses to have support with anything from financing support, innovation support, international talent attraction, and export assistance. So, one thing that really differs on this side of the financing aspect of it is that we have a venture capital and investment fund. Right. So Investissement Québec IQ can invest in equity in some projects, not necessarily in the business every time, but they can be, but it could also be in the project itself. Wow. One specific project that is going to have a location here in Quebec, and that's an equity stake. And that's something that is significantly different from what you see in terms of a traditional incentive. And what this government created back in early 2020, late 2019 was our ESSOR program, which is essentially a refundable contribution, or a partially refundable contribution. We call it a loan program, a fancy word potentially for a grant or an incentive. Okay. You go a lot further in the political realm when you call it a loan program, but it is a loan, essentially, with a portion of it being forgivable. So ESSOR is really to support job creating investment projects in order to increase financial assistance anywhere between 10 to 25%, 15 to 25% of eligible expenditures, and depending on the activity and the sector. So this creates an opportunity for companies to have capital to invest in their project, and then based on the number of jobs, a certain part of it being non-refundable. Right. So it being forgiven, essentially, part of it based on the job. So this is something that's very interesting to companies that we've started to use in the last couple of years. And the other thing, we have a lot of different initiatives. We have, in French, it's called Productivité Innovation. So to help innovation productivity, or productivity innovation, to help local businesses innovate in the way that they do things. And there's funds related to that. There's manufacturier innovant, so same thing on the manufacturing. How can you help be innovative? We have a division called the CLIC at Investissement Québec, which helps companies in terms of best practices in manufacturing and becoming more innovative. So this, on top of tax credits to boost the company's competitiveness, commercialization. And Marie-Ève, the VP of Export, she has a program that helps with export assistance. So helping you get into new international markets. And that's not just for Quebec companies. That is, if you're manufacturing a product here, you're creating a product here, you're creating a technology here, and you happen to be based in London as your headquarters, but you want to find new markets in the US or Europe or Japan or wherever, her team can help do that. Fantastic. And then we have tax holidays. We have HR and talent development support. So, we offer quite a bit when it comes to R&D tax incentives, when it comes to everything that can make us competitive in a North American landscape, which is, especially south of the border, extremely competitive.
Especially south of the border, yes.
Yeah.
Most certainly. And we haven't touched on transport, okay? So I want to talk a little bit about transportation and why Quebec is the champion of intermodal transport, right? How many consumers are provided with this privileged access to the Americas via this gateway?
I mean, easily about $1.5 billion. Mentioned earlier, the strategic, 20 strategic commercial ports, 4 international airports, and the integrated rail network, but also the integrated interstate or highway network that gets you throughout North America and even into Mexico coming from Canada. You look at Quebec being positioned on the eastern seaboard. We have the St. Lawrence River, which comes in off the Atlantic Ocean you can go all the way into the Midwest of the United States through certain channels from that. It's deep water. On either side of the St. Lawrence River, you have deep water ports coming all the way into Montreal and then into Valleyfield. We provide an access that not a lot of other places can provide. Some ports are private. For example, we have a port in Bécancour, which is one of the largest industrial parks in Quebec. That is dedicated 90% to the tenants of the park. The other 10% is the British Navy and the Canadian Navy that have the ability to use the port for training purposes. But this is a significant advantage when you're locating in this type of industrial park to have your own deep water port and know it's just your neighbors in that park. So you never have to worry about a volume issue. And then just on the other side of the river, which is less than 1 kilometer away, is another deep water port in Trois-Rivières. So you see the opportunities for intermodal transportation to getting your products in from the United States, from Europe, from Asia, and then distributing it through North America and vice versa, getting your products overseas. To have these ports, to have the opportunity, the intermodal transportation with CN Rail and other rail lines, we really are kind of even though we're on a coast, we're a centralized location globally for intermodal transportation.
Fantastic. Well, Daniel, as you know, we are tackling one of the most talked about topics. FDI, we are talking this time particularly, we're really focusing on premier FDI locations in 2022 and beyond. That's what we're talking about. We're getting up close, we're getting personal, we're focusing on the nitty-gritty. So the last question I want to ask you, Mr. Silverman, is what makes Quebec a premier FDI location in 2022 and beyond?
I think if we had another hour or two, I can keep going, but I think I said much of it above. But in a nutshell, we're an innovative, low-cost, highly educated, strategic diamond in the rough, I like to say. I say it a lot better in English than I do in French, but it's true.
In French too.
Might be a tough one. But we're Quebec. It's a challenge in Canada to market yourself internationally, and we have a great opportunity here in Quebec to do that. And people are starting to understand who we are, where we are, what we offer. We have government support both at the provincial level and the federal level to grow, but we don't stand still. So we're going to continue to innovate. We're going to continue to evolve, and we're going to continue to try and be ahead of the race for investment, for talent, and for exporting products manufactured here in Quebec. Over the course of the next several months, our life sciences strategy is going to be implemented. Our hydrogen strategy is going to be implemented. We're going to continue to evolve our battery strategy. We're going to continue to move forward with the announcement, hopefully at the end of January, maybe into February, some new innovation zones throughout the province of Quebec that are sector specific. We're going to announce new programs, and we're going to have some industry sector transformational announcements that are going to be coming of investments that are really going to put us above and beyond the competition in terms of the types of companies that are locating here. So,
can we look out for those towards the end of January, beginning of February?
That's the plan. That's the plan.
Fantastic.
And with the government's continued support, the assistance that we could provide at IQ and all the divisions of IQ, just the FDI team alone, we're over 70 people and growing. And we're across the globe, and you look at about the 200 people in Invest Quebec International. We provide kind of that red carpet treatment and that red carpet service for businesses that want to come here, and the opportunity to show them why Quebec is your landing location in North America for businesses from abroad, but also for North American businesses that are looking to go international as well. So we feel we have all the assets in place, the right government support, the right programs in place, and we have a very agile program of financing and collaboration with partners that I think is really important for businesses to see that we're here to support you in the long run. We're here to keep you going, and that's why that kind of one-stop approach with export, with talent development, with financing, with innovation, all starts here with Invest Quebec International.
Fantastic. Diamond in the rough, as you call it. Well, Daniel, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the future. I'm looking forward to hearing about the big announcements. I will remain poised until we hear about that, and no doubt we can talk about it with our international platform. Once again, thank you for your time, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. And from us at FDI Alliance International, thank you very much.
Thank you, Courtney.
You're welcome.